All right. Get ready to blush a little, people. We're about to dive headfirst into the wild world of cultural sexual practices. You know those traditions from around the globe that make you go, wait, they do what? We're talking ancient rituals, crazy festivals, and some seriously interesting customs. And trust me, you're going to want to take notes, especially if you're tired of the same old boring routine. This ain't your grandma's history lesson, people. We're getting down and dirty, exploring the fun, the fascinating, and the downright unbelievable. So hold on to your hats, grab some popcorn, and get ready to have your mind blown, because things are about to get interesting. Let's do this thing. First stop on our world tour of love and lust, ancient Greece. Now forget those stuffy history books. We're talking tunics, temples, and some seriously freaky festivals. These guys took their partying to a whole other level. Think toga parties, but with more grapes, lyres, and oh yeah, rituals dedicated to the gods. And when I say rituals, I don't mean lighting incense and chanting. I'm talking about full-on, let loose your inner animal celebrations in the name of the gods. You know, the kind of party where you wake up the next morning with a grapevine wrapped around your head and no memory of how it got there. Now, the star of these shindigs was Dionysus, the god of wine, pleasure, and well, let's just say he was a big fan of a good time. Like, a really big fan. And let me tell you, these ancient Greeks knew how to throw a party in his honor. We're talking dancing, drinking, and enough sensual energy to power a small city. They believed that by indulging in earthly pleasures, they were honoring the gods, which, let's be honest, is a pretty sweet deal, right? So next time you're popping a bottle of wine, pour one out for Dionysus and those wild ancient Greeks. They knew how to get down. All right, let's shake things up and head over to West Africa, to the land of Benin. Now, Benin is known for its vibrant culture, colorful markets, and, oh yeah, voodoo. No, not the creepy stick pins in a doll kind of voodoo. We're talking about a complex and spiritual tradition deeply rooted in nature and ancestral worship. And guess what? Sensuality and sexuality play a big part in these rituals. We're talking dances, rituals, and ceremonies designed to connect with the spirits and harness their power. Imagine a dance floor where the moves aren't just about looking good. They're about invoking fertility, abundance, and, oh yeah, some serious stamina in the bedroom. These rituals are all about tapping into that primal energy, that life force, that gets everything going. And let me tell you, they don't hold back. We're talking about moving your body with intention, with purpose, with a whole lot of soul. It's like Zumba, but with a spiritual twist. So, next time you're feeling disconnected from your own sensuality, take a page out of Benin's book, put on some music, light some candles, and shake what your mama gave you. All right. We're heading to Tonga now. Beautiful islands, beautiful people, and the fabulous Fakaladi, men who live as women, embracing their true selves, woven into the fabric of Tongan society, respected and involved in everything, like the Beyoncé of Tonga, fierce and talented, from ceremonies to the hottest parties. Who wouldn't want an invitation? It's like Studio 54 with a tropical twist. Moves, music, and energy all night long. Think of the amazing Fakalati, living their truth. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kevin, this is a lot to take in. But trust me, the Fakalati are more than just their gender identity. They're artists, performers, healers, and keepers of tradition. They're like the Swiss Army knives of Tonga. They do it all. These ladies are all about spreading love, acceptance, and good vibes. They're like walking, talking glitter bombs of joy. So let's hear it for the Fakalati of Tonga, breaking down barriers and serving us life lessons. You go, girls. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading to India, the land of spices, spirituality, and the Kama Sutra. Forget 50 Shades of Grey. This is the OG guidebook to love and intimacy. Ancient wisdom passed down through generations, written in Sanskrit. It's all about exploring your senses and connecting with your partner. It's like yoga for your love life. Twists, bends, stretches. You might even break a sweat. But hey, at least you'll be doing it with a smile. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kevin, how many positions can there really be? Let me tell you, the Kama Sutra is like the encyclopedia of lovemaking. We're talking a position for every mood, every occasion, every day of the week. Feeling adventurous? Try the climbing the tree pose. Feeling lazy? The sleeping tortoise has got you covered. Feeling hungry? Well, maybe skip that one. But seriously, the Kama Sutra is all about finding what works for you and your partner. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but instead of fighting dragons, you're creating sparks. So if you're looking to spice things up in the bedroom, ditch the handcuffs and blindfolds, and grab yourself a copy of the Kama Sutra. It's the ultimate guide to unlocking your inner love guru. Bonjour, mes amis. We're jetting off to France, the land of love, croissants, and awkward cheek kisses. The French love their la bise, a series of air kisses on the cheek. You gotta lean in, air kiss, sometimes twice, 3 times, or even 4. Things can get real awkward, real fast. It's like a romantic comedy waiting to happen. But hey, that's all part of the fun, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Kevin, this sounds terrifying. And you know what? You're not wrong. But hey, when in Rome, or should I say, when in France, just embrace the awkwardness, go with the flow, and try not to laugh or blush too hard. The French, they got this whole la bise thing down to a science. They're like, oh, you're meeting for the first time? 2 kisses. You're old friends? 4 kisses. You're a long-lost relative? Let's just hug it out. It's all about reading the room, understanding the social cues, and hoping you don't end up with someone else's lipstick on your cheek. But hey, at least it's a good story to tell, right? So, next time you're in France, pucker up and get ready for some cheek-kissing action. Just remember, it's all in good fun, unless you accidentally find yourself locking lips with a stranger. All right, we're headed to the Himalayas, people. Home of the Yeti, snow leopards, and polyandry? Hold up, rewind that. Poly what now? Yeah, you heard right. We ain't talking about your regular, everyday marriage here. In these parts, a woman doesn't just marry one dude, she marries his brothers too. Can you imagine sharing your wife with your siblings? Talk about keeping it all in the family. I mean, I love my brothers, but come on. Sharing a toothbrush is one thing, but a spouse? That's a whole different level of brotherly bonding. I gotta give it to them, though. They've figured out a way to keep the peace and share the workload. Maybe that's the secret to a happy marriage. Who knows? All I know is, if my wife ever suggests we try polyandry, I'm out of there. I'm talking about faster than you can say Mount Everest. So, why do they do it? Well, apparently it's all about practicality. See, land in the Himalayas is scarce, and nobody wants to split it up into tiny little farms. So by marrying all the brothers, they keep the land together and everybody benefits. Plus, with more husbands, there's always someone around to help with the chores, take care of the kids, and, other stuff. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but hey, whatever floats their boat, right? Just don't ask me to be the best man at the wedding, because I don't think I could handle seeing all those grooms. One ring to rule them all, huh? More like one wife to wrangle them all. All right, moving on before I get any more confused about this whole thing. Next stop, Indonesia. We're talking beaches, volcanoes, and a giant communal bath? Okay, maybe not your typical vacation destination, but trust me on this one. The Pond Festival is where it's at, people. It's like a giant pool party, but instead of chlorine, they're using holy water. The idea is to cleanse your soul and start fresh. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm all for a little spiritual cleansing. But being surrounded by hundreds of naked strangers, that's a whole different kind of cleansing, and I'm not sure my soul is ready for that. I mean, what do you even wear to a communal bath? Flip-flops? A shower cap? And what happens if you gotta, go? Do you just hold it in? So many questions. Despite my reservations, I gotta admit, there's something kind of beautiful about the Pond Festival. It's a celebration of community, of togetherness, of, cleanliness, I guess. And who knows, maybe a little communal bathing is what the world needs right now. A chance to wash away our differences and just be human. All right, maybe I'm getting a little too deep here. Let's just say that the Pond Festival is definitely an experience, and leave it at that. Just remember to bring your floaties, folks, because it's about to get crowded in that spiritual tub. Next up, we're headed to Japan, where things are about to get interesting. And by interesting, I mean completely and utterly bonkers. Stay tuned. All right, folks, buckle up because we're headed to Japan, the land of the rising sun, and some other things that rise, if you catch my drift. Get ready for the Kanamara Matsuri, also known as the Festival of the Steel Phallus. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking giant metal, you know. Now, I'm no prude, but this is a whole new level of out there. I mean, imagine going to a parade and seeing a float that looks like, well, you know, and it's not just one, it's a whole bunch of them. They've got giant ones, small ones, wooden ones, metal ones, you name it, they got it. It's like a giant phallic buffet out there. And the best part, it's all in the name of fertility and good health. So, how do you celebrate the Festival of the Steel Phallus, you ask? Well, you can start by visiting the Kanayama Shrine, dedicated to, you guessed it, the phallus. They've got all sorts of interesting offerings there. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can even buy yourself a phallic-shaped lollipop. I'm not kidding. They say it brings good luck, but I'm not sure I'd want to be caught dead with one of those things in my mouth. But hey, to each their own, right? The Kanamara Matsuri is definitely one of the most unique festivals I've ever seen. It's outrageous, it's hilarious, and it's a little bit disturbing all at the same time. But hey, that's Japan for you. Always keeping things interesting. Up next, we're heading to Thailand, where the streets are red hot, and I'm not talking about the spicy food. All right, sweetheart, all right. We're talking Thailand, baby. Land of smiles, spicy food, and well, the nightlife is lit. And when I say lit, I mean lit. We're talking about those red light districts, people. Stories about shows and entertainment that would make even your grandma blush. Just remember, what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand. Now I gotta warn you, these places ain't for the faint of heart. You gotta be ready for anything. One minute you might be watching a traditional Thai dance, the next minute, bam! You're questioning the laws of physics and anatomy. It's like that feeling when you're on a roller coaster, and you're not sure if you should scream or laugh. You're both bewildered and bemused, all at the same time. It's a wild ride, man. But hey, that's all part of the experience, right? You go to Thailand for the culture, the food, and maybe a little bit of the basmati. What in the world did I just see? It's all in good fun. Just remember to stay safe, use protection, and for the love of all that is holy, tip your bartenders. Hold up now. We're going to Papua New Guinea now. You know, the land of beautiful beaches, lush rainforests, and the most open-minded folks on the planet? I'm talking about the Trobriand Islanders, people. These guys and gals have a whole different perspective on that thing we call love. See, in Trobriand culture, they don't beat around the bush. They skip the whole stork story and get straight to the point. From a young age, kids are learning about the birds and the bees. And I ain't talking about pollination. We're talking about real deal, no-holds-barred sex education. And they're not learning it from some awkward gym teacher with a bad comb-over. They're learning it from their elders, their family, the whole community. It's like their version of show and tell, but instead of bringing toys, they're bringing knowledge. And you know what? It works. These kids grow up with a healthy and informed understanding of sex and relationships. No shame, no stigma, just straight up facts. They're like, yeah, we do it. It's natural. What else you want to talk about? It's awkward. Makes you wonder why the rest of the world is so uptight about the whole thing. I know, I am. Well, folks, there you have it. 10 wild, wacky, and sometimes downright unbelievable cultural sexual practices from around the globe. I hope you learned something new today, even if it's just that the world is a whole lot more interesting than you thought. Remember, folks, sex is a natural part of life, and different cultures celebrate it in different ways. So next time you're feeling adventurous, why not try something new? And by something new, I mean exploring the world and learning about different cultures. If you enjoyed this wild ride, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing content. And hey, if your sex life is even half as interesting as some of the stuff we talked about today, you definitely don't want to miss our next video. Until then, stay curious, stay open-minded, and most importantly, stay freaky. Peace out.